everybody, it's Vertical Sandwich. Welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Quest XI. And yes, Kundun is a Martin Scorsese film with a soundtrack by Philip Glass made in 1977 about the life of the Dalai Lama. It's worth a watch, it's good. Hey, hooray, the luminary's here. All of the monks have gathered in the High Hall to welcome the luminary to angri-la. The day we've been waiting for has finally come. Well, nearly all of us. I don't really know what a luminary is. I'll ask my mother later. An angry-looking kid. So, and Shangri-La is a mythical place in the Tibetan mountains from a 1933 novel called, I believe, Lost Horizons. By a British guy. Some British guy. I think. But I wasn't really paying attention. Howdy, honey, what brings you here? Me, I was moseying around minding my own business when I found myself smack dab in the middle of a gang of red-eyed monsters fixing to eat me up. If I hadn't been for a couple of kindly disciples coming to my rescue, I'd have been torn into itty-bitty bits. Those fellas sure are strong and fast. You should have seen them wail on them varmints. Quick as all get out. Guess all this training really does pay off. Oh, you're not going to offer me a chance to get puff-puffed? Books. There's a book called Don't Get Hungry, The Local Delicacies of Angri-la. It's widely agreed that Angri-la is a unique style of cooking grew out of the need to provide delicious nutrition for the monks to perform their grueling training while still adhering to a strict vegetarian diet. Perhaps the temple's most famous dish is the legendary Bam Bam noodles, which are served only at special festivals. Claims that this is the most delicious food in all the world are certainly not unfounded. The meal is said to symbolize pride in one's achievements, and anyone capable of making the arduous mountain climb in order to taste them firsthand has every reason to be pleased with themselves. There's a tourist pamphlet entitled Girl About Town, Port of Valor. Start your day with a lazy morning relaxing by the water and enjoy a traditional breakfast of pancakes with coconut sauce and strong Valorian coffee. No, not the coffee, the coconut sauce. And then make your way to the beach, where you can sun yourself while enjoying a good book and snacking on delicious tropical fruit. The sweet, juicy flavors of fresh Valorian produce simply can't be beaten. Once the day starts to cool, make your way to the casino and try your luck at the tables until it's time for dinner at the hotel's world-class restaurant. The chef's special is out of this world. Finally, sit at the bar on the beachside terrace, sipping a cocktail and losing yourself in the stunning saffron sunset, or the bartender's arresting azure eyes. This is just one of the many ways to while away a day in delectable Port of Valor. If it sounds like you're ready to have fun, then don't delay. Start planning your trip today. Angri-la is home to a society of monks who spend all their time training to be extra strong and clever. Are you here to train too? No. Oh, then why did you climb all the way up the mountains? You are a strange one, mister. Then yes, I knew it! You could go up to the Field of Discipline. That's the name of our famous training ground. The best sorcerer in history trained there, you know. Okay. Well, that's awesome. Okay. Maybe there's no Puff Puff girl at Angri-la. I mean, I guess that wouldn't shock me too much. Oh, did it change to night? Okay. I don't like leaving these landings unexamined. Ah, but there's nothing on them. Okay. Just saw a load of disciples racing into the High Hall. His Holiness must have summoned them. I've never seen them so excited before. I wonder what's going on. Yeah, me too. I also wonder who wrote the Book of Love. Did you know that Chapter 1 says you love her? Welcome, Lumiere. This is the High Hall of Angri-la. His Holiness waits you within. Okay, finally.
I welcome you once again to Angri-la, honored luminary. As I believe you know, it is my privilege to serve as High Lama of this most sacred temple.
I am to address you as Your Holiness, correct? Might I ask what you and your people know of my companion?
Why, everything, of course. We have awaited his coming ever since the day he entered this world in the castle of Dundrasil.
Waiting for him? What do you mean?
I mean exactly what I say, nothing more. Tell me, do you recognize the symbol on this banner?
Yeah.
It is the emblem of Dundrasil. Since the age of heroes, the princes of that nation have come here to train with us for 6 years of their youth. Your young friend was born a prince of Dundrasil. Thus did we expect him to come here as a boy and study under the great Grand Master Pang. Sadly, that was not to be.
So if fate had been kinder, you would have spent a good part of your childhood here. What of his tutor, this Grand Master Pang you speak of?
When the Lord of Shadows brought the world tree low, the Master set out to summon a magical mandala to protect the temple from destruction. The spell succeeded, but its power was too great. Grand Master Pang did not return.
A noble sacrifice indeed.
Now that the Master is gone, it falls to me to guide you. Come to the Field of Discipline. It lies behind this hall. There is something you must see.
Okay. Field of Discipline.
It is a shame that the Grand Master cannot be here. I would have liked to meet one so noble. Come, let us see what His Holiness has in store.
Grandmaster Pang is interesting. We are, of course, going to meet Grandmaster Pang at some point in this game. It is my honor to serve as chief instructor of this temple. If Dundrasil had not fallen, I would have trained you as a child, according to the instructions of Grandmaster Pang. No doubt you are eager to undertake the training that is your birthright, but first, pray, speak with His Holiness. He awaits you by the entrance to the Field of Discipline, which stands behind the temple. It does. It's so much. There's so much game left. Oh, man. All up here. My friend was chosen to be the new High Lama. Now he's the most important person in Angri-la after the Grand Master, and everyone has to do what he says. Amazing, isn't it? He's only the same age as me, but he wouldn't be. But we couldn't be more different. Yeah, you would have been all right. You also have glasses. Welcome, Luminary. This is the Grand Master's chamber. It is where Grandmaster Pang herself resided until that fateful day. It is also where you would have awoken each morning if you had come here when you were a child and trained with us as you were supposed to. Oh, I'm just like in his room. Okay. Book of Wisdom entitled The Sutra of Angri-la. The Master teaches that man is the world, and the world is man. To devote oneself to good deeds is to serve the world. To bring goodness into the world is to protect it. The Master teaches that through suffering we learn of ease, that through sadness we learn of joy. To love mankind and thereby the world, this is our duty. Man is the world, goodness serves the world. Learn good things from bad, and thereby love the world. These are the wisdoms of Angri-la, realm beyond the clouds. These are the precepts by which we live. Well, that's all right. It's a book on the nature of the naughty stick. The Grand Masters of Angri-la wield a mighty weapon whose name echoes through the ages. I speak not of the wave-covered cutter scimitar, nor of the staff of torn clouds. No, I speak of the naughty stick. The origins of this legendary tool of instruction can be traced back to the very founding of Angri-la. It is said that the stick itself chose the very first Grand Master. Some believe that it was carved from a branch of Yggdrasil, and that even a dragon could not break it, though it tried with all its might. Of course, it is best known for its use in punishing young monks for lapses of focus. The pain it inflicts is rumored to be so severe that acolytes fear that their very souls have been spanked from their bodies. It's horrible. Horrible. Alright. Magic water. Down we go. Okay.
Beyond those doors lies the field of discipline, where students of Angri-la strive for enlightenment. Before we tread upon this hallowed ground, let me tell you a little of our history, and of the luminary of legend himself, Erdwin. Before setting out to defeat the Dark One, Erdwin came to our temple to learn from the Wise Ones, who made their homes here even then. The first Grand Master, i.e., accepted him as a disciple and trained him in the secrets of spiritual realization. But he did not train alone. During his time here, he met someone who would change his fate forever.
Who was this person?
Another of Yi-Yi's disciples, a young mage whose talent outshone that of all who had come before. A man named Morkant. Erdwin and Morkant would train together every day, each striving to outstrip the other. Though they were fierce rivals, they became firm friends. When their training was complete, Morkant joined with Erdwin in his quest to slay the Dark One. Without Morkant's magic, he might never have prevailed. Before setting out, they carved an inscription into this stone, a pledge of eternal friendship. It has been a treasure of ours ever since.
So it should be said that, like, now that we're kind of getting together the story of Erdwin, it clearly was like he had a healer mage who was like a woman and is represented by the two girls in our party, and then he had like a mage friend who is represented like by Rab, and then he also had a strong knight friend who is going to be represented by Hendrik here. They're going to talk a little bit more about that. And then obviously we're the reincarnation of the luminaries. So his party was 4 people and ours is 8 somehow.
Morkant. I have not heard the name before.
Now allow me to show you to the field of discipline, if you would be so good as to follow me.
All right. Oh, wait a minute. We 2 sworn companions, Erdwin and Morkant, do hereby pledge to lay low the Dark One. Though it cost us our very lives, may this pact stand from now until eternity. Well, it's not eternity yet, and the Dark One's running around, guys. So what did you do? Like...
Welcome to the field of discipline. Since the age of heroes, many a would-be warrior has spilt sweat and blood upon these flagstones. If your karma had been different, this is where you would have trained under Grand Master Pang, like all the princes of Dundrasil before you. I have brought you here so that you might stand in the footsteps of your ancestors. An unbroken line leading all the way back to the Age of Heroes. Even your grandfather, Lord Robert, completed his training here. The memory of his achievements shall live long in the temple's memory.
His achievements?
Pang was a harsh master. With this implement, disciples whose efforts were lacking were given motivation, directly to their fundament. It became known as the Naughty Stick. During the course of his 6 years of tuition, your grandfather's right honorable posterior was paddled an unprecedented 10,000 times. The tale of Lord Robert's road to enlightenment lives on to this day. Every disciple knows that he must focus at all times, lest he face the same fate.
Yeah, so...
A legendary achievement, indeed.
So Rab is famous for being the most paddled disciple in the history of this ancient temple.
You are worried for your grandfather, yes? Do not be. Lord Robert overcame every challenge set for him by the Grand Master, and emerged stronger every time. The fall of the World Tree would not have been enough to extinguish one so resilient. He is alive. I sense it. Tonight there will be a modest feast in the High Hall to celebrate your long-awaited arrival. We would be greatly honored if you would join us. We may not be able to aid you as we would have done were Master Pang still with us, but in this respect at least, we can provide.
Okay, that night the High Lama holds a banquet in Switch's honor. The long-suffering disciples are overjoyed to have an evening respite from their training and eat, drink, dance till the early hours. Then morning comes. Along with the morning song.
Awake at last, hmm? It is high time we were on our way.
Does everybody wake up before me in this game?
If the Grand Master was still alive, perhaps we might have learned something to help us in our fight against the Lord of Shadows. Sadly, it was not to be.
Okay, we already checked this room. We already talked to the pretty lady. Oh wait, but she's not in the room. Good morning, Luminary. Did you enjoy last night's banquet? With the Grand Master gone, there's little we of angri-la can offer to you apart from our hospitality. Please feel free to rest here as long as you like. Well, that is nice, pretty lady. Wait, why would she... Wow, whatever. Luminary, trust you slept well last night. His Holiness awaits you outside. It seems like he is keen to wish you luck on the next stage of your journey. He had said he intended to speak with you alone, but I hear raised voices coming from the other side of the door. What could be happening out there, I wonder? Well, let's see.
And the hermit? What news of him?
Forgive us, Your Holiness. The monsters on the mountain path were too strong. We were unable to reach him.
I see.
Your Holiness, is there a problem?
Yes, Sir Hendrik. I fear there is. You see, 2 weeks ago a hermit visited us, unannounced. Then just as suddenly departed for the top of the mountain.
Alone? Whatever for?
That I do not know. The moment he heard that Master Pang had passed away, he ran from the temple. He was last seen climbing the path to the summit. The mountain has become infested with monsters, emboldened and strengthened by the rise of the Lord of Shadows. It is a perilous place indeed. This being so, I dispatched a group of disciples to return him to safety. As you can see, things did not go quite as planned.
I have trained all my life for a moment such as this, and yet I have failed in my first true test. I have brought shame upon Angri-la.
Might we be able to offer some assistance?
I thank you for your kindness, but you are guests here. I cannot ask you to undertake such a dangerous task.
A Knight of Heliodor does not abandon an innocent in need. These people have shown us great kindness. It is only right that we do them a kindness in return. Would you not agree?
Oh, why would you... No.
Come now, do not be so churlish. The High Lama needs our help. It would not do to let him down.
Churlish, huh? Okay.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart, but I cannot allow you to bear this burden alone. I shall come with you.
Okay.
We must depart for the summit of Mount Panglai without delay. After exiting the temple, we will take the path to the east in order to begin our ascent.
Alright, we have to go visit the hermit. Or try to save him anyway. Like... Curiouser and curiouser. But this is what it's going to be like, right? We have to go to these places. I mean, this is a standard setup. For the way the game has run, none of this should be surprising. Like, we have been given a challenge. What is this thing? Mysterious energy emanates from the seedling. It feels similar to the energy given off by Yggdrasil's roots, but nothing happens when you touch it. Interesting. Okay, yes, this shouldn't be surprising. Like, we're gonna have to go through a dungeon full of monsters to get to a goal at the end. At the end, there will be probably a boss. I don't remember. There may or may not be. If not a boss, a challenge. But there's a summit tunnel over here, and that is where we have to go. And there were these guys that stopped us before, but this time, well, if it isn't the Luminary's holiness sent word that you would be coming, you are going to rescue the hermit who went off to the top of the mountain, correct? Please be careful. It would not do for one as important as yourself to go missing too. Okay, well, that's not going to happen. When we come back, though, more of this. Bye, everybody.